Hi, Sally Walker here, your hormone and slow age expert. So what are some of the common deficiencies, as a hormone deficiencies, which will need a replacement? So I like to divide them up into two groups. So we've got the life essential or the life threatening and the life quality threatening. So there's a little bit of a difference there. So the life essential or the life threatening hormone deficiencies are things like insulin, things like cortisol, and the hormones T4 and T3, which are the thyroid hormones. So if you are lacking these hormones, you actually are at risk for, not living very long. Let's put it that way. Okay, so they need to be replaced, and the doctors are very much on the ball here, and these will be replaced. So most people know of type 1 diabetes and how people need to replace their insulin, and this is a normal thing for people who have type 1 diabetes. Possibly less known is the replacement of cortisol, where there will be a disease state of the adrenal glands, which are not now producing cortisol or not producing enough cortisol. And this could be because of an autoimmune disease called Addison's. It could also be because there's some problem with the pituitary gland in the brain. But it could also be because of prolonged periods of high cortisol production because of chronic stress. Now, not saying that everybody who has chronic stress is going to end up with adrenal dysfunction, but some unfortunately do. But the most common cause is the autoimmune disease, Addison's as it's called. And this is life-threatening. You must have some cortisol, cortisol being one of the most important hormones in the body. If you don't get this replaced, then life is going to be very unpleasant and very short. So the thyroid hormones T4 and T3, if you are not producing enough T3, so if you're really deficient in T3, your life will be threatened as well. So what does T3 do? Well, it's responsible for the energy production called ATP in the mitochondria. It will be speeded up by the T3. So if you don't have enough T3, you're not going to be producing enough ATP energy, so you're going to have cells which can't do their job properly. So life is going to be, again, possibly not very exciting and possibly very short. So they're the three hormones which I would classify as being life-threatening if you don't have enough of these hormones, if you're deficient in it. So the life quality threatening, well, this is more the estrogens, the testosterones, the progesterones, the DHEA, human growth hormone, and even melatonin. So these hormones, apart from melatonin, they're all really sort of time limited. Apart from DHEA, actually, that's not necessarily time limited either. But the others are time limited. Not that you stop producing, but you stop mass producing. So human growth hormone is really the first hormone to go, isn't it? So this is the hormone that's going to make you grow upwards, mostly. And by the time we get to around the age of 16, 17, 18 years of age, the mass production of this hormone declines, and we just have a little left, and that amount gets declines even further through your adult life. Okay, so it's essential that we stop mass producing at least, because we don't want to be giants, do we? So, but we still need enough of it because it's very good for tissue repair. It's very good for fat burning as well. So we still need to have this hormone, and some replace it as a form of anti or aging or slow aging kind of thing. And that's the same, especially with estrogen and testosterone, and also for some with progesterone. So we ladies, we get to menopause and we can lose all three of those hormones, or they will decline. We don't lose them completely, but our ovaries stop producing them. So our adrenal glands still produce, or skin cells, this kind of thing, but we don't produce very much. And for many ladies, and I would say all ladies really, most ladies, after menopause, we need to support, especially estrogen, so that the quality of our life is good, basically. But that's not saying that we're going to replace all of it. We're not going to get, it's sort of roughly 60-70% that we lose with menopause. We're not going to replace that. And most of that production of estrogen is to run your ovaries, to make the eggs, get you pregnant, to activate the uterine wall. All of these things we don't want to do, obviously, after menopause. But we would like our brain to function, which is the next biggest user of estrogen. It's very estrogen hungry. Bone tissue, heart health, vaginal health, skin health, all these amazing things possibly require a little bit of estrogen or a little bit of extra estrogen in what we are actually producing. So there, it's going to be better for your life quality or your quality of life to have a little bit of estrogen. And it's the same with testosterone, and it's the same with progesterone, that a little bit of hormone. So the boys will need to look into the replacement of testosterone. This is not generally accepted at the moment, and is not necessarily easy for you to do. But I do know of many that actually do have testosterone injections once a month, or use testo gel. Injections are probably the best way to do it. And they thrive, they keep their masculinity, they age very well. Just like we ladies age much better when we have a little bit of estrogen. So life quality and life essential, two different things. Life essential, we need absolutely to replace these hormones. Life threatening, that's the life threatening, the life essential. But the life quality, I would say, is something that most of us should do to age, yes, with grace and with strength and with passion and feeling sexy. Happy hormones, happy life.